Hello, VC, and whoever's watching. So I bought a whole record collection, and I consider this to be the best record deal I've ever made. Just to shorten it up, the story. One night I was checking out eBay, found this collection for like 350 records for a ridiculous low price. There were no photos of the covers, just this spines of the records, so you could read a few titles. The condition was about, he said, well, they're very good, but he didn't use like the official grading, um, the official grading system. So, and as you know, if you buy used records from people who are not so much into collecting records, um, they kind of have from time to time their own interpretation about grading and condition. Um, but I just checked the titles and I saw like a few in there, and I thought, okay, I will give it a try, even if it's like totally garbage and all destroyed. I can resell the whole collection for the same price because it was so ridiculously low in the price. And so I bought it online. I went to the guy the next day. Turned out he was reselling all, or he was selling all his stuff because he wanted to move out from the apartment. Those are the records that he collected throughout his life. As I say, kind of an old guy. Just said it's fine. He moves out. He doesn't want them anymore. And I picked them up, and it's fantastic. It's mostly VG plus, or at least VG plus. Most of them are near mint. They're in absolutely fantastic condition. Also, when I checked the pressing, they're mostly like the original pressings, no reissues or something like that. So it's just a great record deal. When I got them here, I went through, I picked up everything that looked interesting to me and listened to it. So that's the stack that I will show to you in a minute. I made another stack of stuff I'm not so much into, but that I can resell separately, like album by album, or that I can give away to friends as a present. And I made another stack with records that are like that usually don't sell at all, or something between €2 and €5, something like that. And I sold them as a collection again. It was like 220 records, and with that I got the money back that I spent on the collection. So all those records that I'm going to show to you in a few minutes, I got them for free actually. And as I said, with that, it should be like the best record deal I've ever made, and I don't know whether I will ever be able to do something just like that. um, so I would say we just get right into it. It's quite a lot of records. I would try to get through it a little bit faster than usual. This is the reason why I bought it. Like on the spine, I could read Sweetheart of the Rodeo. I could read the catalog number, and I knew, okay, this is the original pressing. I was looking for this record for years. It comes on the original Orange CBS label. It's German pressing. It's considered to be like the beginning of country rock. Graham Parsons joined the Byrds, I think 68, maybe 67. I think it's 68, and out came this jam. Just worth it for this record. That was actually the reason why I bought it. The next one, Scott Free by Scott Walker. So I've heard a lot of good stuff about Scott Walker's solo records. They often pop up in top listings like 25, 40, 50 records, whatever, that are not so much known, and they always recommend his solo stuff. To me, as he did with the Walker brothers, it's pretty much orchestral, and I'm not so much into that. I listen to it; it sounds quite interesting. Not so much like the Walker brothers, so there's a little difference, but still a lot of orchestra, like big arrangements. Um, I think I have to give it another spin and to see whether I really want to get into it or whether I will resell it. The same with Scott 2 and Scott 4 that were in that collection. Yeah, so that's for Scott Walker. Next one, I didn't know anything about it. Jackie Lomax. Home is in my mind. This comes on the original Green Warner Bros. Label. I think it's folk rock mostly, like folky rock. US pressing, didn't know anything about it. I like it pretty much. On Discogs, it's like $4, but nice record for free. I should take it. Next one is a classic, Cream, Wheels of Fire. This is the original German pressing on Polydor from '68, I think. So this is one live record, one studio record. Comes with White Room, which should be like the biggest hit on that record. Great to get it for free. Next one, Barry McGuire, Eve of Destruction, original UK pressing. I really enjoyed the record. It's also like mostly folk records, a lot of cover songs like Sloop Jumbie's on it. She Belongs to Me by Dylan, and I don't know why, but often Barry McGuire gets like bad reputation. Mostly when you read stuff about Bob Dylan or big songwriters, they always compare them with Barry McGuire and say, well, this record is so obvious and the lyrics and all that, and that's why he's nothing compared to the great lyrical skills of Bob Dylan or Jackson Browne, someone like that. I don't know why. I love Eve of Destruction. Yes, it is an obvious or more obvious song lyric, but I really enjoy it. It's a great song. It's a classic, and I don't know why people bash Barry McGuire or the song Eve of Destruction. The next one is a compilation, Greatest Hits by the Yardbirds, on the original Epic label, German pressing, pretty nice shape. Also from the 60s, considering that looks just like new. The next one is an upgrade copy for me. This is Led Zeppelin 4. This is the original German pressing. Comes with the original inner sleeve. I already had a German pressing from 74, 5, something like that. But I just switched with this copy. Next one is Fat Mattress, second, which should be their second album. No Redding played in that band. He was the bassist for the Jimi Hendrix Experience and switched to guitar for this one. I think they play like blues rock. I couldn't listen to it so far, but I always wanted to check Fat Mattress out. I'm a huge fan of the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and I heard a lot of good stuff about Fat Mattress, so nice start. Next one is Jody Grint, Conception. I didn't notice. I just like the cover looked pretty nice and checked it out. Discog says it's like prog rock. Same with Fat Mattress. I couldn't listen to it so far, but I'm definitely looking forward to listen to it. Looks quite interesting. Next one is Sly and the Family Stone live. This is also the original pressing. Comes on Epic. Nothing to say about Sly and the Family Stone. They played at Woodstock. Great funk, soul band, a lot of power energy going on. Great to have it. Next one is a blind pickup as well. This is called The Second Coming, by The Second Coming. Comes in a gatefold. To me, it also looks pretty psychedelic, progressive, and I recognize the sticker. I have another record by JD Blackfoot, which was a blind buy, but it's a fantastic record. I really love it. It has exactly the same record, the same sticker, and I think it's like it's a commercial for Mercury, Dimension of Miracles. So maybe it's one series of records. I don't know yet. Also read online it's psychedelic prog rock. Really looking forward to listen to that one. Next one, Stone Country by Stone Country. Just the same, looks like a really interesting 60s record. It comes on RCA Victor. It's the German pressing, and the label looks pretty old, so I consider this to be the original one. Next one, the New York Rock and Roll Ensemble. Also self-titled. Same thing, looks interesting. Comes on Atco. Nothing wrong with that. It's also an original pressing. Why not give it a spin and check it out? Didn't know anything about it. Next one is fantastic. The Beatles, White Album. It's the original German pressing with the top loader cover. So you open them up here. It's not a low number or anything, but it's in fantastic condition. The color looks just like new. It comes along with the poster, no photos, but still a White Album, original pressing in that condition, fantastic. For the next one, I was looking for, and I wanted to get it for my collection. It's Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs, an Englishman. I think this is uh, it's a soundtrack. It's a movie soundtrack, but I think it depends on how you look at it. I think it's the movie was about a live tour of Joe Cocker and his band in the US, and this is the result of it. So it comes on the original A&M Golden labels. Um, just the same fantastic cover, fantastic condition. It's a fold-out cover. Just give me a second. So you can get it out like this, and then there's another flip to get it even bigger. So to get the huge poster, and yeah, as I said, great condition. Like the pre-owner didn't pin it up to the wall or anything like that. He always treated them pretty good. At one point, he told me he cleaned them. I don't know how he called them in English. In German, we say nachspielen, which means to play it wet. So you can put water on the record and play it so that it sounds better. But the con is that you always have to play them wet. He told me about that, and I was a little bit concerned. But some records are a little bit crackling, but with my cleaning machine, I can get it away very easily. And so, as I said, in the end, you get VG Plus Niemand records. Next one is the Kinks, the live album. This is from the 80s. I think it was recorded in the US. It's a great mix of records or the songs they played in the 80s, like Low Budget, Misfits, which should be from the 70s, and the classic stuff like Lola, You Really Got Me. It definitely sounds nothing like the 60s, so as a fan of the Kinks, it's pretty interesting to listen to this band with that sound. Next one is Jordan Lightfoot, The Way I Feel, comes on Sunset, German pressing. I knew about Gordon Lightfoot as a Canadian folk singer-songwriter. Of course, Down Down is a big hit, and this is just like, as I said, really good singer-songwriter, folk music. Definitely worth it to pick it up to the collection. The next one is one that I was looking for too, but you see quite often. It's this Rolf McTell, Streets. So this is the album on which Streets of London was released, which is it's a fantastic song. The album itself is also pretty nice. As I said, folk rock, singer-songwriter stuff. Next to Streets of London, I highly recommend El Progreso, last song on side one. Really good to listen to. Our next one is pretty nice. Vinegar Joe, 6-Star General. This comes on the original Pink Rim Island label, German pressing. As you can see, this guy is Robert Palmer, and this is Elke Brooks. So 2 stars, or later pretty famous musicians who started in that band. Pretty nice mix of blues, of brass sound. Nice pickup, and yeah, check it out. At least just to see what Carl Palmer, what Robert Palmer did before his solo career. Next one is Booker T and the MGs, Uptight. This is a soundtrack for the movie Uptight. Last year I picked up my first Booker T and the MGs record. Ever since I love it. I want to get, whenever I see an album by them, I try to pick it up, and I never regret that. Same with this one. I can really recommend it. Just the usual stack sound, Booker T sound, just fantastic. Yeah. Next one is Dabo by Mike Dabo. He was a singer of Manfred Mann in the 60s. This is a solo album. I think the only solo album he ever did. Not 100% sure. This comes on French original pressing. It's pretty good. It's mostly 60s pop, but especially Handbags and Glad Rags. The last song on the album is a fantastic one. I've heard it before. I have no clue where, ever since I tried to figure out where I know is it from a movie or another artist who covered it. Chris Farlow did, but I know this specific version, but I don't know where. Still, great record. He wrote most of the songs on this. If you see a copy, pick it up. It's definitely worth it. Next one is Cass Elliot by Cass Elliot. So this is Mama Cass, original member of the Mamas and the Papas. First, I thought like, I don't know whether I really want to get into that. I expected like female voice with orchestra music, mostly popish stuff. But on this one is Disney Girls. It's by Bruce Johnston from the Beach Boys. And I thought like, okay, give it a try. Listen just to this track and see what happens. And actually, I pretty much enjoyed it. It's the original US pressing. Mama Cass or Cass Elliot had a fantastic voice. And I'm glad to pick it up for the collection. Next one, this is Leonard Cohen, Songs of Love and Hate, comes on the original Columbia label. This is the original US pressing. I don't think there's anything to say about Leonard Cohen, one of the singer-songwriters or one of the poets of the 60s and 70s. Really lovely record. To be honest, I don't think that I get like most of his lyrics or really understand them, but overall it's just fantastic music. Next one is I think some consider it to be bubblegum pop. This is the Lemon Pipers, Jungle Marmalade. It's on Buddha Records, German pressing, and actually it's pretty nice one. Like I don't have any trouble with bubblegum pop. It sounds nice. It's what I expected, and I don't regret it. It's like Psych pop from the late 60s, and also like this guy. You can check out Black Betty by Ram Jam. He played in a band after, had another smash hit. So the Lemon Pipers. Next one is by Quincy Jones. This is also a soundtrack for the movie Dollar, so it's just a sign there. It says on Discogs it's funk and jazz. I agree on that for a few tracks. There are also a few in there that sound pretty amazing, and I think if they were released on like a prog rock label like Vertigo or Dirham, I think you could call them like prog rock. And so to me, it sounds pretty interesting. I don't have any Quincy Jones records. Of course, he's quite a legend as a producer in the music industry, but yeah, definitely worth it just for the mix. So this is something totally different. This is the Golden Gate Quartet. This is a compilation, When the Saints Go Marching. This is German pressing. It's just really nice music. It's pretty old. It sounds like barbershop music. There's a lot of vocal harmonies going on with these guys, and it just sounds really nice. Nothing that I can put on a turntable like every time, but from time to time, if I'm in the right mood, it's just the right thing to do, and I think the cover looks just great. Our next one, I'm pretty glad about this one. This is Thunderclap Newman, Hollywood Dreams. So this is the only studio record by Thunderclap Newman. Comes from the gatefold. This is the original German pressing, and I think Pete Townsend discovered the band and produced this album. And on this one, you find Something in the Air, which I think was their only hit and also their biggest hit, #1 in the UK. And pretty nice to listen to. It's a very unique sound. To me, hard to define like musical direction or genre, but pretty nice one. Next one is Upgrade 2. This is the notorious Bird Brothers. This is, I think, from '68. On the original Orange CBS label, German pressing. I had a US pressing, which I will now give away as a present to a friend of mine. Pretty interesting moment in the career of the Birds. It's something between blues, mostly country, and psychedelic rock. Maybe a product of its time, like late 60s, West Coast. There's a lot of stuff going on this record, and I really enjoyed it. Next, we have Don McLean's Solo. This is a live record, 2 LPs from '76. I really love Don McLean. American Pie is one of the finest albums ever made. He's a fantastic singer-songwriter, and this live record proves that he can really, really play, whether it's guitar, banjo, whatever. And there's a fantastic version of Babylon on it, which I always enjoyed on American Pie, the record. But to hear it live when he's guiding like the whole audience sounds fantastic. Next one, Shades by J.J. Cale. I think J.J. Cale is classic, mostly laid back blues rock that you can always listen to, and Shades is no exception from that. So, of course, I will put it in the collection. Next one is a compilation. I would just keep it for the cover. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young Celebration record. And as you can see, the cover front side is a band photo. There you see Stephen Stills' first solo record, but you can fold it. It's a 6-fold poster, actually. So on one side you have album covers, and on the back side you have the band with a fantastic shot. So just for the cover, I will keep it. Though I already have like all the Crosby, Stills, Nash / Young records that I wanted, but just for the cover. The next one, the Four Freshmen, Voices and Fun. Just like the Golden Gate Quartet, this is nothing I would pick up too often. This is a very unique sound. It's like 50s, 60s sound with a lot of vocal or very specific vocal harmonies. I was curious because I know that Brian Wilson was pretty much influenced by the Four Freshmen. They had a huge impact on him and the way they sang the harmonies. So I said, yeah, give it a try. It sounds kind of antique. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Frank Sinatra records or stuff like that. So it's definitely before the big music revolution of the 60s, but just the same with the Golden Gate Quartet. If I'm in the right mood, this is just the right record. Next one, we have a classic live album. This is Humble Pie Rocking the Fillmore. I was always looking, or I'm always looking for Humble Pie records. This live album, I've heard so many good things about it. I always want to like give it a try, but it's quite expensive and you don't see it too often. Mostly Humble Pie records are pretty beat up, especially the covers. This one is just really nice. Golden A&M label. This is the second German pressing, I think 1 year later after the original release, but still fantastic, great vinyl quality. Next one. It's not rare. You see it very often, but I never had a chance to get it for a good price in good condition. Iron Butterfly, Inagata Davida. This is a club pressing. Also, like most of those records are like special edition pressings, whatever. Some have just a sticker on it, some have it printed on the record label or the cover itself. But yeah, one of the classics. It's not the original one, but still pretty old. I think 69. Atco. Yeah, one of the classics. Iron Butterfly is a great psychedelic rock band. It's not a one-hit wonder with Inagata Davida. Check out First Sight as well. Most Anything You Want is fantastic. Termination, great songs. Iron Butterfly. Same with the next one, Heavy by Iron Butterfly. As you can see from the cover, this is also later pressing, but still pretty late. Also comes on Atco. Yeah, check out Iron Butterfly. They're a fantastic classic rock band, and if people just talk about Inagata Davida, they miss a lot. Next one, compilation as well, Fleetwood Mac, self-titled. Comes on Reprise, the red-orange label. This is also a special edition, German one. Usually I don't collect compilations, but this one has a well part 1 and 2 on it, and I think they were never released on the original UK or German albums. So I really wanted to have them on vinyl, and it's most of the songs are from Then Play On, like Before the Beginning, like Crying, and this is just fantastic. Like in my Fleetwood Mac from the 60s with Jeremy Spencer and Peter Green and mostly Denny Kerwin. This is Fleetwood Mac to me, not the 70s or West Coast version of it. It's just fantastic. Next one, classic 2, Frampton Comes Alive, one of the live record classics. Also the original one on A&M. It's AOR. It's not so much what he played with Humble Pie or The Hurt, but pretty decent songs. It's as I said, it's a classic. I always wanted to have it in a collection, and now to get it under those circumstances, just great. Next one we have pretty good one, Broken Barricades by Procol Harum. So this is not one of their classic records like The Whiter Shade of Pale or Salty Dog. But it's still really fantastic. I really recommend side 2. Power Failure is a great one. It's a really nice drum solo on it, but also the main riff is fantastic. Poor Muhammad and Playmate of the Mouth. Awesome psychedelic rock tracks. So check it out. I had it before. This is the upgrade because the other version, it was like one of the first buy I ever had when it was like 13, something like that, and I just get scammed a little over the price. So nice to get the upgrade for free now after all those years. Next one, Shine On by Humble Pie. This is a German pressing. It's also a special edition. I already have this record. I'm not sure what to do, whether to keep this one and sell the other one or give it away, or the other way around. This is in better condition, but it doesn't have the gatefold sleeve, so I don't know what to do. Maybe I would keep both for the sake of collecting, but I don't know. But great band, Humble Pie. I don't think there's like any bad record ever made by them. Next one is Blind Faith. So this was a supergroup with Ginger Baker, Eric Clapton, and Steve Winwood, and I think it was Jim Weech, wasn't it, who played bass. I'm not 100% sure on that one. So yeah, this is the original German pressing on Polydor. I have the other version, like the censored cover with the nude girl who turned out to be way too young to post no nude on a record sleeve, especially holding a plane in her hands. It looks like a penis. But that's the original one. I have the repress with the girl cover. Now I have them both, and I think I will keep both. I think it's kind of interesting to see how covers change over time, and yeah. Classic rock, or classic album, not classic rock, but classic album. Next one is by Ray Charles, Do the Twist. This comes on Metronome. Compilation as well. Let's say it's hard to get like studio records by Ray Charles, or there's on the other hand, no, it's not hard, but there's so many compilations. And on this one, you have what I'd say. I over the in the last month, I think, or last 2 months, I read his autobiography and I checked out some songs that he described. One of them was what I'd say, which was created like over a jam, or he was just like doodling around from time to time before the shows, and over the time he developed this song, which is great one, just fantastic. Just check out the drum beat that's played, and actually that influenced Ringo Starr for I think it was I Feel Fine. It's a great record. Ray Charles, you can't do anything wrong with that. Next one, Alan Stifel, the Renaissance of the Celtic harp. So Alan Stifel, you find him a lot in the 1 or 2 Euro bins. He has one record, Roots from Celtic Rock. I love this record. It's amazing. So I always check out Alan Stifel records when I can get them for free or for a low price. This doesn't sound anything like Roots from Celtic Rock. This is really just a Celtic harp, but it's an instrumental album, and I really love this instrument. It sounds so nice. It has, to me, it sounds more like Eastern music, so Southeast Asia music or instruments. Um, but it's great harmonies, great melodies on this one. Just as instrument, sometimes you have a drum beat behind, but just great melodies and really nice to listen to it. Maybe more like a background album, but I enjoy it. Yeah. The next one. This is The Immigrants by The Immigrants. So this is a band that came to Denmark in '65 or something to do their music. This is just folk music. They're mostly covers on this one, but they're fantastic. They have a great version of Mr. Tambourine Man. San Francisco Bay Blues is pretty good, and Railroad Bill. Um, there's not so much to find out about this band. So you have like this guy over there who looks like he wears something, and two guys that look more like Asian. But I couldn't find out too much about this band. I think all the records were only released in Denmark. Same with this one, which comes on Metronome, and they did only like three or four records and then vanished. And there's not so much known about this band, but uh, I really enjoyed this one. Nice folk rock, or no, not folk rock, just folk music with a nice cover, just like cover art. So the next one, I didn't know anything about him as well. This is Harry Saxioni, Harry Saxioni guitar. So this is from the Netherlands. He's the guy also is from the Netherlands. This is also an instrumental album. It's just him playing guitar, but in such a fantastic, mind-blowing way. It's concert guitar, acoustic guitar, Western guitar. I don't know why it's so cheap on Discogs. This guy's like a genius on the guitar. He has great sense for harmonies and to keep it interesting over two record sides just to play the guitar. And I'm glad that I could pick it up. I think without the collection, I maybe wouldn't have listened to it. The next one, or this one, is maybe like the most interesting find for me. This is Gator Creek. I knew the cover before in the band, but never had a chance to listen to it. And just the first track, "Don't Try to Lay No Boogie Woogie on the King of Rock and Roll." Wow, it's so energy filled up boogie woogie rock and roll music. It's just great, and with that start, they just keep that level. It's a great record, and I'm glad made just for this one as a blind find. Fantastic. The next one is Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart, Test Patterns. German pressing on A&M. I picked it up because it looked interesting as well, like 60s cover art. And when I listened to it, I thought like, oh, okay, this sounds a lot like the Monkees. And turn out those guys wrote like 70-80% of their stuff that was released on the studio albums. So they had like what is it called? Pleasant Valley Sunday, I think. They wrote this one, so they were also involved with the hits, but they mostly wrote stuff that was on records between the hits. And it just sounds like the Monkees. It's very unique songwriting style that's on this one as well. And I like the Monkees a lot, so I enjoyed this one too. Next one, this is BB King sur Scene. So this is a French record. I think it's a live recording. Like when you buy the original pressings, you can see where it was recorded and all that. For this, it appears to be a compilation, like Eddie Mitchell presents Le Roi du Rock, which I think means the king of rock. My French is pretty bad, but it's BB King. It's a live record, and as one of the big blues guys, one of the blues guys, maybe the blues guy, glad to have it and to listen to it. Great sound, great live recording, and great musical skills going on. The next one, this is The Pretty Things We Want Your Love. I really like the Pretty Things. How do you describe, like R&B band? Have like the same background as the Rolling Stones. Actually, Derek Taylor, the guitarist for this band, played the original lineup of the Rolling Stones. There he played bass, and yeah, they were considered to be like the bad guys compared to the Rolling Stones in the 60s. This is a studio album from 67. It comes from the Netherlands on Fontana. And as I said, it's just pretty much R&B, played pretty hard, pretty fast. Sometimes they sound a little bit like punk or like garage rock, but it's pretty nice to have it. I like the early Rolling Stone stuff, and this reminds me of those songs as well. Next one, Earth Opera by Earth Opera. This comes on the Golden Electra label. It's folk rock, folk psych rock, folk psych, nothing like that. It's okay, like nothing that stands out to me, but it sounds like a product of its time, late 60s folk psych, and enjoyed it as well. And actually was also one of the titles that I read or that I could see online in the collection on the pictures, and I thought like, okay, might be a good one. So this is the last one, Paul Simon, Hearts and Bones. I love Paul Simon. He's, in my eyes, one of the greatest singer-songwriter, or one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And this is from '83. A lot of the songs sound like the '80s, which I'm not so much into, but there are great tracks on this one too, and the main title, or the title track, Hearts and Bones. It's a fantastic song, so great to have it, and great to listen to it. So that's it for today. There was a massive haul, a massive collection. I think I need some time to rest a little and to really listen to all those albums and to get into them. But it was a extraordinary chance for me to get so many great albums, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I hope you enjoyed it too, and maybe see you next time.